Hi, everyone. My name is Adam Franchella, and I'd like to welcome you to today's online demo day. Our demo day today includes 7 of our strongest founding partners from around the US and from a variety of different industries. For those of you who may not be familiar, today's online demo day is actually an extension of our longstanding in-person demo day series that we launched back in 2017 with the goal of introducing some of our strongest founding partners to our network of investors throughout the country. To date, we have hosted demo days in over 15 cities throughout the US, as well as 2 international locations in both Toronto and Qatar. For today's event, I'm joined by my colleague, Karen Deep-Sodi, and the 2 of us will serve as the moderators and ensure that everything runs smoothly. Over to you, Karen.
Thank you so much, Adam. I welcome everyone to KiwiTech's online demo day today. My name is Karandeep Sodi, and I'm a senior coordinator for events at KiwiTech. Now, as Adam mentioned, we have 7 presenters today with an opportunity for the investors to basically engage in a round of Q&A. Now, each presenter gets 4 minutes to pitch, followed by a 2 to 3 minute round of Q&A. Investors may reach out to us during or after the presentation through with their questions through the Q&A feature or the chat feature on your Zoom screens. Now, we also share a feedback form in the chat. Now, basically, this feedback form is for the entire event. We really would appreciate it if you can fill the feedback form. It's very essential for the improvement of entirety of the event. And each presenter, at the end of each presentation, a poll will also be shared to rate the presentation that you just saw and also request for an individual introduction. So these are the house rules, and over to you, Adam.
Thank you very much, Karen. All right, so as I mentioned, today we are lucky to be joined by 7 of our strongest founding partners from around the US. And in order of their presentations, they are Mark Solino, CEO of Statement Games, Will Ciolino, CEO and founder of Anthology, Harsha Rajashima, CEO and founder of Jiva, Jackson Fisk, CEO and founder of Goal Zero, David Kelly, founder and architect of BobTrack, Quinn Mitchell, co-founder of Vesti, and Travis Jessup, founder of EmpowerMe. And with that, I'd like to introduce the VP of Strategic Partnerships at KiwiTech, Andres Venegas, to give a brief overview of KiwiTech. Over to you, Andres.
All right, thanks, Adam. All right, awesome, thanks. Thank you, Adam, for the introduction. I'm Andres Venegas, the VP of Strategic Partnerships here at KiwiTech. For those of you that are first timers at our event, give a brief intro to KiwiTech, our community, and at the same time, a big focal point for us today, is really to continue to foster entrepreneurship on a global scale. So KiwiTech, we are a global community of innovators, mentors, investors, enterprises, strategic partners, and allies. When it comes to us focusing on a global startup ecosystem. Today we have the privilege of working with over 250 portfolio companies, where about 95% of them are US based, but we've been doing some great inroads into Canada, the Middle East, and the UK. To help support our portfolio companies, we have over 1,500 investors ranging from angel investors, high net worth individuals, family offices, and VCs. Till date, we've raised over 75 million for our portfolio companies. And this year, we actually are at 100 plus mentors for the ecosystem. Now, how did we get here? So this is an exciting part, of our journey. In 2012, our founders had their first exit, after scaling a content services business to over 5,000 people, and sold for a 9-digit exit. In 2013, that's when we actually started our startup program. 2017, we launched our first in-person KiwiTech demo days. In 2019, we actually started focusing on giving back to the startup community, by launching our 808 workshop series. In 2020, we've been able to scale our ecosystem to over 250 portfolio companies, with the goal for 2023 to be on track to having over 1,000 portfolio companies in the ecosystem. Now, with regards to our model, it's a very unique model, but very standard process. Overall, the goal for us is if you're looking at spending over $500,000 on offshore resources, what KiwiTech will do is we'll take $250,000 in cash payments on a pay-as-you-go basis. while the other 250,000 will take in fair market value warrants at your current proposed valuation. The goal here is to have skin in the game, but actually help our entrepreneurs with the cash outflow burden from the ecosystem. In terms of our ecosystem of events, it's been super exciting to be able to be a part of this journey where we first started off with just physical investor demo days. With 2020, I think the silver lining of getting online is the fact that we've been able to increase venture capital panels. We've had quarterly startup 808 workshop series. We also host investor demo day events, family office panels, industry panels, venture fairs, and our techathons. In terms of our deal flow, overall last year, we reached out to over 40,000 companies, had over 24,000 meetings, all in all to focus 24,000 meetings, 6,000 calls, and we had 625 deal reviews to end up with 109 portfolio companies. This year has been a milestone year for us. We started off in Q1 with only 15 events back when we used to do everything in physical locations. From there, we've pretty much almost doubled our events from Q2 and beyond. This quarter, we're actually targeting, I believe, 24 events. These events, they range from techathons, family office panels, Kiwi venture fairs. We also had a Hispanic founders venture fair, industry agnostic, and also mission-driven events, from our female founders demo days, our Black Entrepreneurs Matter. And then, of course, we have online workshops to really help nurture and foster the entrepreneur community. But with that, with all that being said, without further ado, I will pass it back to Adam so that way we can kick off the show. So thanks.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Andres, for that overview. Greatly appreciated. As Andres mentioned, we're going to turn things over to our startups to begin presentations. And first up, I'd like to introduce Mark Solino, CEO of Statement Games. Over to you, Mark.
Hope everyone's doing well. Hello, I am Mark Solino. I'm the founder of Statement Games. Statement Games is a patented, free-to-play sports fan engagement platform and marketing system. As a company, we've invented an alternative form of fantasy sports, and for our innovation, we've already been featured on networks like ABC and NBC. The sports landscape is emerging through the gambling industry, an industry that's expected to grow to about $500 billion in a very quick time frame. As this industry progresses, it's actually alienating a significant part of the market. 60% of the US population have identified themselves as casual sports fans. However, with COVID-19, economic unrest, political uncertainty, recent polls have shown that at least 40% of fans are simply not ready to spend discretionary income on gambling-related services. This underserviced market presents opportunity. As a company, we've created a system that generates games around sports. For example, let's just say the Jets are playing the New York Giants. I understand these teams aren't great. Just bear with me. I'm just giving an example here. About 60 statements specific to this event are presented to our players. Statements like the Giants quarterback over or under 285 yards passed, the Jets defense over or under 2.5 sacks. From the list, participants select 10 statements and rank them in order of confidence from 10 through 1. As the event plays out, should their number 10 pick become correct, they receive 10 points. If 9 through 1 are incorrect, well, now the player just has a total of 10 points. They're going to play in a league of anywhere between 8 to 12 people, and the individual with the most points from correct picks wins. Community members compete for platform credits, and when they're ready, they simply exchange those credits for a cash reward of your choice. Our platform is powered by about 85 different merchants like Starbucks, Macy's, Target, Under Armour, NFL Shop. When you're ready, you simply exchange those credits for a cash reward of your choice. Now, although Statement Games is currently live and it's accessible at www.statementgames.com, we do have apps that complement our web-based product. Google Play, Apple is the best way to actually find our app. Our core business model entails a process of engaging fans first through free-to-play sports gaming, capturing data, segmenting data, and then leveraging data to drive viable business opportunities. Revenue targets include sales of proprietary digital products, sponsorships, and products from our affiliate partners. We've even identified opportunities that will allow us to white label our platform to other brands seeking new ways to engage casual sports fans or customers, but have limited resources. The engagement first model works. It's influenced my own personal consumer behavior because, truth be told, Statement Games is a family originated concept. I've been playing versions of Statement Games for over 25 years. I would play it specifically with my family on Thanksgiving Day during Detroit Lions games. The following day on Black Friday, because my brother and I, at the ages of 11, 12, or 13, were having such a good time with the game, we'd always push my mother to buy a sports related kind of like, apparel. So at a very early age, I was learning how this family game was influencing my consumer behavior. But from a business perspective, I'm already showing that Statement Games has the ability to, I guess, allow our customers become a little bit more receptive to our corporate messages once they've gone through our gaming experience, an experience that allows them to become more receptive to buy, products and services. Using positive experiences to drive sales is a tactic my partner and I believe in. We spent close to 40 combined years working with industry-leading digital businesses, organizations that have built empires around engaging value-added services. We're currently pursuing Statement Games full-time because we see an opportunity in the gaming space in which engagement can be monetized at a reduced cost. Some early traction points that we can point to include: one, we have a unique functioning platform within an emerging market. There's a growing demand for our product, and we've even secured IP around our unique value proposition in the form of a patent. While our competition will be very heavily focused on real money gambling services, services that require extensive capital in an effort to navigate a very competitive space, Statement Games will continue to focus on developing a system that monetizes free-to-play sports gaming. Currently, we're looking to network with early-stage seed investors that see value in our concept. And over the course of the next 60 to 90 days, we're looking to raise about $2 million through an instrument that's mutually beneficial. I really appreciate the opportunity. Thank you for your time. Happy to answer any questions that come up.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Mark. So just a reminder to all of the attendees and investors in the audience today that during and following all the presentations that you hear, please feel free to use the Zoom Q&A feature so that, now that we're finished with the presentation, we can then go into a Q&A with our founders and specifically Mark in this instance. Mark, so I do have one question to kick off with you. So what is your plan of use for the funds that you will be raising?
I mean, there's a couple of different things that we're actually looking to do here. One of the biggest challenges that I currently face is given that we're a startup and Statement Games pretty much just powers nationally televised sporting events here. One of the biggest obstacles that I need to overcome here, and one of the biggest challenges that I'm trying to overcome here, is that my community wants the ability to play more games. So kind of like, making that more of an automated process as opposed to a manual process, from gaming automation to real-time scoring. That's going to be a big kind of like use of the funds here. And then I'd say through the form of white label and then other, B2C metrics here, growing the subscriber base or growing the membership base. I'm pretty confident that with the funds in place here, there's a significant amount of users that I can add to the platform, pretty much like all at a cost that would actually range between $5 to $10 per user, which is significantly cheaper than what the industry is currently paying.
Got it. Excellent. Okay. Thank you, Mark. And then finally, what drives Statement Games' revenue model?
It's pretty much comprised of three different areas. There's digital subscription services, digital one-off products, traditional digital commerce that we're currently selling within our platform to give people the ability to accumulate content, which in essence gives them a better opportunity to compete within the platform. Content marketing or sponsorships is a big part of like the revenue model. And keep in mind, there's a tremendous amount of data that we're capturing kind of like, on the back end, leveraging that data to communicate with users directly on specific interests and selling them products and services through affiliate programs here is the core B2C kind of like, model. But like I had said here, this whole system that we've created here, we're pretty sure that we could rip out and replicate the Statement Games, logos with logos of our partners and white label the model at a licensing fee. So the white label model is a big part of the business model as well.
Got it. Excellent. Thank you so much, Mark. We have a couple more questions here, but we'll make sure that we tee up those via email. Thank you again for your presentation.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
All right, so as we wrap up Mark's presentation, just a couple of reminders for everyone. First and foremost, on everyone's screen now in Zoom, please note that there is a 2-question poll. This will be a poll following all of the presentations we have today, so please take a moment and fill that out prior to our next presentation. Additionally, in the Zoom chat room, you can see that my co-moderator, Karen Deep, has copy and pasted a feedback form. Please, following all the presentations today, please fill out that feedback form to give us some invaluable feedback for all of our startups presenting today, as well as if you're looking for an introduction to any of those startups that present, we'll use that feedback form to make sure that we can make those introductions for you. Okay, so our next presentation, we have Will Ciolino, CEO and founder of Anthology.
All right, hello everybody. My name is William Ciolino. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Anthology. I'd just like to thank you all for joining and listening today to the presentation of our photography platform. So I'm a hobbyist photographer who, like many, had little time resources available to enjoy my craft because of my full-time employment. So I started Anthology with a simple question in my mind: how do I create a platform that allows photographers to share locations with the rest of the community, to foster a generation of hobbyists and beginners like myself? We first began by looking at the industry itself, and we found that it earns $10.5 billion a year in revenue, moving with US GDP. And we also found that effectively 94% of all photographers are freelancers in some capacity. Then we found out pretty quickly a much bigger problem and pain point. Photographers are spread way too thin across a multitude of distribution services. They have to manage upwards of 10, 12, sometimes 15 different accounts just to be successful, while hoping that their customers follow along. This is in addition, of course, to these artists having to go out and perform and edit their work, processes that anyone familiar with the space will know takes tremendous amounts of time. So this became our primary focus, creating a centralized distribution service that allows photographers and visionaries to accomplish all of their needs in one easy-to-use platform. So let's look at what makes Anthology unique. Our first tenet is providing a host of discovery-focused features that allow artists to share locations with the community for profit-sharing revenue opportunity. This allows us to expand the space and foster a community of newcomers through inspiration. We further expand the revenue streams by allowing artists to engage with customers looking for freelance photographers right in their area through our integrated map. We then target our attention to our management tenet. Anthology allows artists to create customized catalogs for their photos. Our mission is to increase organic visibility and promote network growth. And we do that by allowing keywords to be assigned to all the albums and photos posted to our platform. And these feed back directly into our search results. And you can see here that we are maximizing the real estate on the phone screen by dedicating it to what matters most to these artists, their actual work. Our third tenet centers around marketing. Our photographers can sell individual photos, entire albums, and even distributive licenses to businesses and publications. This is all done logistically free on the user side thanks to a partnership with a print-on-demand service provider. All the artists need to do is set their prices and take in the profit. By creating a direct relationship with enterprise customers and our artists, we can reduce the pricing of stock imagery and allow photographers to stop being taken advantage of by these controlling license giants who sell photos for hundreds of dollars and pay their artists pennies in return. And now let's look at our fourth tenet, allowing our users to earn real income simply by interacting with our platform. We are the first dedicated patronage platform for the photography industry. We've seen massive success in the content creative industries of videography, podcasting, and video game streaming, and we're excited to bring this feature to this industry as well. And here we formulated a way to gamify the photography world. Anthology incentivizes users to mobilize and visit real-world locations deemed as hotspots to compete in themed contests that reward users with real money. This invites fans and users of social media platforms looking to benefit from the time they spend each week on their phones, and allows our local business customers to benefit from increased foot traffic to their locations through sponsored hotspots. Simply put, this level of attention and dedication to our user base cannot be found on any other platform, and that's why there's a growing need in the photography community for something new. We've personally spoken to hundreds of photographers on a daily basis, and this is exactly what they want, a platform that's better for them and more aligned to their interests. Our team here is made up of highly experienced and well-respected individuals who have built their own businesses. They have tremendous marketing insights and connections, and decades of experience and reputation in the industry. Tom, my co-founder, and I have spent the better part of the last year building relationships with these individuals, and we're looking forward to expanding our team and growing Anthology. So on October 1st, we began by bootstrapping the development of our first MVP. And we're going to push this to our early adopter signups, a platform for them to upload their content prior to the public launch in spring 2021. We're looking to raise $600,000 by the end of November to hire the workforce of already identified candidates who are eager to hit the ground running. So I want to thank you again for listening, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
All right, thank you very much, Will. So just give us a moment, Will, as we wait for some questions to come in here. Okay, well, the first question I have for you is, what is unique about your team that will take this to market successfully?
So our team, our business development advisor has built her own business. She's built a fitness streaming service called Forte. It's been running for 5 years now, and it's growing exponentially every single year. Chris Bukowski, our marketing advisor, he's a marketing guru. He's got his own marketing agency. He's appeared on the Bachelor TV series several times with hundreds of thousands of followers on social media. And then Nate Lube, our industry insider, he's been a professional photographer for decades, has a massive following again, and he's a leader in the space, and he's breaking records. He just sent us a note the other day. He's got this really cool experimental project coming up that is pretty exciting. So we're leveraging all those minds and strategies to promote us.
Excellent. Okay. Then Will, tell us a little bit more about your raise. Have you been able to successfully raise any capital as of yet of that $600,000? And if so, where has that come from thus far?
So we haven't raised anything yet, but we've had some very good discussions with a couple of VC firms in recent weeks, and high net worth individuals as well. So we're looking forward, and we're continuing those discussions, and we're planning for the future.
Excellent. Okay, great, Will. Thank you so much for your presentation. Looking forward to hearing from you soon.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, excellent. Thanks again, Will. Okay, so moving on to our third presentation. Next up, we have Harsha Rajashima, CEO and founder of Jiva.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Harsha Rajasimha. I'm the founder CEO of Jiva Informatics. I turned into a social entrepreneur driven by a personal cause and experience in the family with a rare disease, and driven to accelerate the speed of clinical research at scale. So I founded Jiva last year in February and made tremendous progress in validating the product market fit, and we are on a mission to decrease the study startup and patient recruitment timelines by 58%, reducing the logistical burdens on both the study team and patients by up to 70%, resulting in over 30% cost reduction and enhanced user experience. The number one problem that our customers in the biopharmaceutical industry care about is the speed. They want to get the drug to market faster. And the number one bottleneck in that process is patient recruitment. And travel is a big component which reduces the likelihood of patients to accept the possibility of participating in a clinical trial. And increasingly, patient diversity and access is a significant focus in the recent year, especially with the Black Lives Matter and the COVID vaccine trial, which is in the public face all the time. So what our customers told us, we learned from over 500 customer discovery interviews and have identified ways to reduce 10.5 months of valuable time in getting the drug to market faster, and resulting in up to $114 million in savings in a late stage interventional or vaccine trial, both direct and indirect cost savings. And finally, nobody said they had a great experience of conducting a clinical study. And so very poor, frustrated user experience. So significant opportunity to improve that. We took all of that to go after this huge market, starting with hospital sites and investigator-initiated trials, leading to biotech sponsors of cell and gene therapy and rare disease trials, where we have a unique niche. The way we do that is with an all-in-one validated platform that brings together the best-in-class remote, touchless, electronic informed consent for patient recruitment, patient-reported outcomes, clinical outcomes assessments, and video conferencing, all in a single validated platform that alone reduces the timelines by 70% for vendor selection and getting the study started and patient recruitment. We have a number of other features that improve the diversity of participants, enhances user experience, and the unique IP, defensible IP, is our AI and ML-based continuous learning engine that enhances the learns from past clinical trials to make the next trial more efficient. We have a unique differentiated offering in the marketplace, especially in the cell and gene therapy and rare disease research space, uh, very well differentiated from our competitors. Significant customer traction with numerous customers lined up for beta and paid pilot projects starting next month, with number of letters of support that we are looking to convert into contracts in the next month or two. Here is a clear roadmap that we are executing. We are currently conducting early sales with our initial hospital site segment. With the 500K capital, we are now looking to raise 500K to commercially launch, execute those pilots, and achieve the next market segment of CROs and channel partners, leading us to a global clinical trial with biotech sponsors. That's our team, highly qualified, specifically in this space, winning team. The regulatory landscape is very conducive to this environment, with FDA making a lot of allowances to support this type of decentralized clinical research. So a significant de-risking factor in the COVID era. We have a scalable business model, and I can go into the details with the unit economics. So with that, I'll conclude saying we invite you to join us in our journey of decentralizing clinical research at scale. Thank you for the opportunity.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Harsha. Just give us a moment as we allow some of the investors and attendees to ask any questions for you.
Certainly.
And in the meantime, as we wait for some questions to come in, I have the poll up on the screen for Jiva's presentation, so please take a moment and fill that out as well. Okay. All right, so our first question for you, what type of proof of concept or pilot projects do you have lined up? And are they paid or unpaid?
We have a number of projects with a children's hospital. All are paid, by the way, and some are academic investigator-initiated trials with MD, PhD type clinical research investigators conducting 500 healthy adult study, observational survey-based studies where they are unable to get the study started because there is no in-person visits to the clinic or the university anymore. And so this is not a nice to have, but a necessity for them to get the study started. So we have at least 5 such studies lined up.
Excellent. Okay. And the second question I have for you, can you elaborate a bit on your go-to-market strategy?
Absolutely. You know, we are first going after the segment of which requires HIPAA, GDPR, which is the hospital sites in the United States, the academic investigator-initiated trials, and then scale the platform for global deployment, requiring FDA regulations like 21 CFR Part 11, Annex 11. So we already have a roadmap for the platform and the go-to-market that are consistently aligned, which can enable us to deploy at global scale within the next 6 months, as there is an urgent need for this type of a remote touchless patient recruitment platform very soon.
Excellent. And finally, can you be a little bit more clear as to how you differentiate yourself from Medidata and others as to your specific offering, technology, et cetera?
Absolutely. Medidata started with the EDC software that they inherited from the Roche or Genentech, and they have a unique proposition there. And where we start is with a single integrated platform that brings 4 pieces together into a single workflow-driven software platform. That is not something that's deployed at scale currently by any of the players in the market. And we are not an EDC system. So we will be integrating with the existing EDC platforms and the electronic medical records like Cerners and the Epics, which some of our hospital customers are asking for. So our value proposition is combining 4 different pieces of tools into a single, in a regulated market. Having this in a validated platform, it's very important. That saves a ton of time in training and validation. That's the single biggest differentiator. And then in the rare disease and cell and gene therapy space, they are unique. It's a one-time treatment and a long-term follow-up. So our platform is designed specifically to address those types of use cases.
Got it. Excellent. Thank you so much, Harsh, and thank you for your presentation today.
Thank you for the opportunity.
All right, ahead of transitioning to our fourth presentation today, just a couple of reminders. First and foremost, once again, in the Zoom chat here, please see that my co-moderator, Karen Deep, has yet again put in the link to our feedback form. So following the presentations from all 7 of our presenters today, please make sure to fill that out. And then additionally, I'd like to also draw your attention to the Zoom screen here, where we have an upcoming Female Founders Online Demo Day on October 28th at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we have a wonderful panel discussion and a number of very strong female presenters that are slated to attend and present. So looking forward to seeing all of you there as well. And with that, I will turn it over to my co-moderator, Karen Deep, to introduce the rest of the presentations today.
Thank you so much, Adam. Okay, so without further ado, I would like to invite Mr. Jackson Fisk, CEO and founder of Goal Zero. Jackson, the floor is yours.
Perfect. Hello, everyone. My name is Jackson Fisk. I am the CEO and founder of Goal Zero, the simple way to manage safety. So, fun fact, did you know that if you own a business, you're legally responsible for the safety of your workers? And if something were to happen to those workers, hundreds of thousands of dollars of fines or even possible jail time could be upon you. So if that's not a problem enough, implementing the safety and HR program is difficult. You need to understand the legislation associated with your industry and how it affects your company. In-house HR and HSE management is very expensive, and companies aren't always aware of the rules and obligations under legislation or regulations that associate their task. So how do we fix that? We give them everything. Excuse me. Outsource your program. Outsource your HR department. We'll give you turnkey compliance and remote management software. It's a learning management, data management software with affordable, predictable pricing. It's quick and easy to set up and coverage. And you have 24/7 access to subject matter experts to help you get the certifications you need. Why now? Well, legislation and regulation is always changing, and the cost is higher than ever. Uneducated to educated consultants can cost $25 an hour to $200 an hour. And in these ever-changing times, we look to companies to make them more efficient and contain costs, especially while adapting to a global pandemic and economic shifts. Our traction, we want to do proof of concept, acquire clients and see how we can outsource this process, develop an in-house management software, and then focus on organic growth. Unfortunately, in 2019, there was a death of my business partner, was unexpected, and we rolled into a global pandemic. I'm happy to say the first quarter of this year, we surpassed last year's revenues in that first quarter. Our target market is construction, manufacturing, oil and gas, mostly because these are the ones that are maiming and killing people every day. Although our roadmap is into every other industry, because if you have employees or contractors, you need safety and HR management. The market size in North America is about 31 million companies. They're classified as small business. Where I am north of the border here, we got about 250,000 companies just in our target market ranges that we'll focus on. Our indirect and direct competitions are management softwares, in-house safety and HR teams, and external consultants. We fix that by combining this process to be a one-stop shop for safety and HR management in a software solution that helps you guide and manage your company's operations. And then you have access to outsourced professionals without the overhead associated with these positions. The cost of implementation, we can save companies up to 95% of their in-house overhead expenditures. Our marketing approach is target marketing and advertising and a referral-based networking, consulting partnerships. The more clients we have in our system, the more consultants we can put to work, and then develop strategic partnerships with business registries, lawyers, and certifying partners or regulatory bodies to help promote safety. Our revenue models are based on a SaaS subscription-based model with consulting and a la carte services as needed. and the transactions are built right through our software to help companies for whatever they need. Our future roadmap, well, we want to focus on premium content development for Canada, US, and globally from training perspectives, industry-focused marketing campaigns, and then vetting and onboarding consultants in jurisdictions that the platform is deployed. Our team's made up of me, business coaches, HR consultants, organizational psychologists, and a great dev team here at KiwiTech to help us bring forward this product. We're looking for a $500,000 pre-seed investment on a $4 million valuation to help us with our marketing and content development for training. This has been Jackson Fisk, CEO and founder of Goal Zero, the simple way to manage safety. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Jackson. Thanks a lot. I would just request everybody in the audience to send in your questions through the Q&A chat or the chat feature. Okay, so we already have a question, Jackson. Are you an additional platform for your customers, or are you replacing a tool they're already using with an enhanced focus on safety?
We're replacing that. So the software management solutions that are out there actually refer us for consulting. So our goal was to enhance those products with a better turnkey method.
Okay, great. Thank you. And okay, just waiting for a couple of questions to come in. Okay, what are your projected revenue streams?
Projected revenue streams, well, right now it's our subscription-based software. So, our clients come in, pay a subscription based on the consulting packages they want, as well as partnerships with consultants, white labeling, partnerships with industry professionals like, safety supply companies, stuff like that, marketing options to help promote those types of industries.
Okay, thank you. Well, thanks a lot, Jackson. It was a great presentation. Now we would just move on to a poll. Thank you so much for the questions. We will be sending you all the rest of the questions, Jackson, that will come in via email.
Okay.
Same with the people across. Thank you. Thank you so much. And for the audience, you will see a poll on your screens. Please rate the presentation from a scale of 1 to 5 and also request for an individual introduction. Okay, so now moving forward, I would like to invite David Kelly, founder and architect of BobTrack.
Okay, then. I'm David Kelly. I'm the founder of BobTrack. BobTrack is the AI engine for insurance distribution management. BobTrack came out of decades of experience working with insurance systems where on numerous occasions I've had to address a surprising gap where the systems don't fully support a key business process that carriers and brokers have to carry out. That process we're calling Book of Business, which is what the Bob and BobTrack stands for. Book of Business is essentially tracking which agents are servicing which policies and then the value of those relationships across time, but it's a fairly complex problem that I want to go into here. Carriers and brokers are leaving money on the table in the form of lost revenue, lost sales time, or people chasing the wrong revenue, or on the bottom line side, fraud. Various expenses that they shouldn't have to be taking on, but they haven't got the tools to prevent that. The tools they need are data, transparent and accessible data, which unfortunately in the insurance world is not easy to come by. Carriers have tons of core systems siloed on top of each other, and they don't talk to each other. They are not modeled the same way, so that if you pull a value out of one system, it's not necessarily the same as a value in another system. And just the architectures themselves are these systems were never designed to play and share well with each other. So BobTrack overlays on top of the insurance IT ecosystem. We're not replacing any systems. We're taking data from the core systems, and we're agnostic with respect to where they come from. So we're not fussy that you have to be using our platform. Our platform sits on top. We pull data out, create a centralized data repository so that any result you're looking for is a short number of hops away. The data is highly normalized and consistent so that in BobTrack, value equals value, and you can trust what you're seeing there. And we're architected to sit on top of the insurance ecosystems. There's basic functionality you need for a book of business management system. BobTrack has it all. We manage the relationships between agents and the policies they're servicing. We operationalize that by doing transaction processing. So business events get tied to the correct agent producer hierarchies. We do value aggregation, which is something nobody else does. But it's critically important in the insurance world. They don't care about this $100 premium check that came in today. They want to know rolling 18 months, or they want to know persistency year over year, or they want to have, you know, rolling 12 months of premiums. To that result is more important to them than just an individual business event. And then by bringing all this data together, we give you the best pool of data in the entire enterprise for doing analytics to figure out what good looks like so you can do more of that, and to figure out what bad looks like so you can avoid it. A couple of use cases, lost selling time. What if BobTrack only found 10% of that, gave the agents the tools they needed to stop doing the shadow accounting? That could be 25 million a year for a $1 billion carrier. Fraud detection, typically about 3% of revenue. Well, if we only found 15% of that by looking across systems rather than being stuck dealing with systems individually, that's another 5 million a year in revenue. But there's a lot more. There's underinsured customers, there's better underwriting, there's finding the most profitable prospects and avoiding the unprofitable prospects, and also knowing which of your agents are good or bad or indifferent. There are 5,000 carriers in the US alone. They're spending $6 billion a year on IT. So they're used to spending money to get answers out of the systems they want. Our revenue model is your basic enterprise software model, where we'll sell the same software both on-premise or hosted. And of course, there's some implementation consulting that I hope to outsource. There's a beachhead market of 5 to 10 legacy carriers who've had incentive compensation management projects where they've had to customize this. I speak from experience. That's what I used to do for a living. I know we can give them a system that actually works and works better, but the industry is huge, and the same model works for multiple different industries as well. As I said, I'm David Kelly. I'm the founder. I've worked in the incentive compensation management space as a high-level consultant, and I've had to spec out literally dozens of custom solutions to manage book of business for carriers and brokers. I'm working with some smart people who know enterprise sales, who know insurance sales, who know application development, including one KiwiTech, and I'm very happy to be working with them. Like to raise 500K for completing the MVP and acquiring 2 to 3 beta customers, buying us a little more runway. I can picture this company being a very tempting acquisition target in a very short amount of time. So that's BobTrack. We say come for the analytics, get the operational efficiency for free. And I'm David Kelly, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to talk to you today. Thank you.
Thank you, David, for the presentation. I will again request the audience to please send in your questions through the Q&A feature on Zoom, or alternatively, you can also send it through the chat feature. Okay, David, how will you get clients? What is the market? What does the marketing plan look like?
Obviously, we'd love it if we could get a large legacy carrier to sign up with us and be a development partner. But one of the ways in that we're looking at is strategic consulting, where everybody in the insurance space wants to get into analytics. They all know it's going to be hard. Well, I can at least help give them the path to getting there. And if they happen to love me and want to buy a copy of BobTrack while they're at it, life is good too. But yes, we're chasing carriers, we're chasing brokers, and we're focusing on the analytics, which we see as a top and bottom line enhancement rather than as a back office system that technically is what we are, but we open up the door for better transparency into the data.
Okay, great. Thanks a lot, David, for the response. For any upcoming questions, we will be sharing them via email with you for the responses. Okay. Thanks a lot for your time. Thanks a lot for the presentation as well.
Thanks very much.
Okay, and for the audience, you will see a poll on your screens. Please rate the presentation from 1 to 5, and also request for an individual introduction. All right. Okay, moving on. Next, I would like to invite Quinn Mitchell, co-founder of Vesti. Quinn, the floor is yours.
So, hi everyone. Great to be here. I'm Quinn, and I'm one of the co-founders of Vesti. Vesti is a social network for investors where users chat with friends, discover stocks, and share portfolios. Meet the founders. Will's been investing for 10 years and has worked for several investment advisors. He has a lot of friends who are also investors, and they have group chats in iMessage and Discord where they share investment ideas, celebrate gains, and commiserate losses. I, on the other hand, have loved starting businesses since middle school, but I didn't learn about investing until more recently. After reading books and studying the markets, I found that my favorite way to learn was by talking about stocks and asking friends how they're investing. And Will and I aren't alone in doing this. A recent study found that 56% of investors use their friends as sounding boards when investing. Our problem is how difficult it is to share stock information. We have to take and send screenshots of stock charts and portfolio info, which is annoying because it requires you to open several apps to perform one task. Plus, there's no way to selectively share just a portion of your portfolio while keeping personal info like monetary values private. None of the major brokerage apps are designed for sharing. And even if they were to add this, most of our friends use different brokerages. And the few investing social networks that exist are either anonymous, which makes them hard to trust, or they make you share your info with the whole world, which many people would prefer not to do. This is why we created Vesty. Vesty solves our problem by integrating group messaging with stock and portfolio data, so sharing information is seamless. And we make it easy to join a conversation about investing by being a home for these discussions. On the left is our home screen. It holds your portfolio, holdings list, and watch lists, but it is also integrated with your social network with updates from friends, group chats, and the ability to share your activity. And on the right is our group chat, integrated with market data. Users can share charts, company stats, and portfolio info, all without leaving the chat. And we are building the best integration of market data and chatting, and will be the place where people want to talk about stocks. Going a little deeper, here on the left is our stock page. I can view everything from charts to analyst ratings, but I can also see which of my friends own or follow the stock. And if I want, I can add this stock to a watch list like this on the right. These are lists that I can share with my friends or even collaborate on. We can also assign stock weights here to track performance of the list as a whole. So according to Gallup, about 180 million Americans own stock. Of those, Accenture identified 30 million millennial investors, and here are some stats on them. 66% want a self-directed investing portal. Vesty is broker agnostic, so we let you connect any existing brokerage account, and you have complete control not only over your investments, but also over what you're sharing. 65% want gamification. We believe the social side will make investing more fun, but will also support deeper conversations and help investors make better decisions. And finally, this is huge. 62% want a platform that incorporates social media, and that's exactly what Vesty is. So there are nearly 20 million Americans out there who are looking for our product. We are following a freemium model. This lets us grow our user base as quickly as possible while generating revenue with our premium subscription. And we grow our user base through connections to existing investment discussion groups, through partnerships with influencers, and through advertising on social media. And our premium includes a stock screener, custom price alerts, and up to 200 watch lists. We will also launch in-app advertising as a second revenue stream. So first, as you've heard, we're building the best integration of market data and chatting, but we believe there's a lot more potential for Vesty. Soon we will launch in-app trading and add a white label brokerage to our app. Following that, we're going to launch a self-directed robo-advisor and then a public feed with influencer accounts. Ultimately, our goal is to be the social network for not only investing, but also betting, including sports betting, and for payments. We are raising $450,000. Thanks so much, everyone. Please reach out if you'd like to learn more. And now I'd love to answer any questions.
Thank you, Quinn. Thanks a lot for the presentation. Okay, so again, let's give the audience a minute to send in their questions. Just bear with me for a minute. Okay. All right, so how are you planning to make revenue? How will you make money, and how much per user in premium plan?
Yeah, good question. So 2 revenue streams so far. One is the premium subscription and the other is advertising. Our premium right now, so really we're going to get a lot of user feedback and kind of build this out. But right now our initial premium is a stock screener, custom price alerts, and 200 watch lists. And that is just $3 per month for the users. We're projecting about 8% of users will be premium users. So this is like consistent revenue that would be coming in.
Right. Okay. Thank you. And okay, where are you at with your MVP?
Great question. We are developing. We have not launched our full MVP yet, but we're doing a little funding right now, and we have a whole prototype. If anyone wants to see our prototype, let us know. We'll be happy to show it to you.
Okay. Also, just the last question that I can right now ask is, how do you view Robinhood here, like them not building this out?
That is a big question. Robinhood keeps on talking about getting into social trading. We think that's a good signal because it means we're doing the right thing, that they're trying to get in that space too. But at the end of the day, Robinhood has maybe a 15% market share of mobile brokerage apps. So any social platform they make is going to be a social network for Robinhood users, not a social network for investors like Vesti. And also Robinhood's app is fundamentally a brokerage app. So they'd have to completely redesign it or build a new app if they want to have anywhere near the depth that we're putting in our app from the start.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Quinn. For all the remaining questions that we have gotten from the audience, we will be sharing them via email and, of course, also sharing your responses. So thank you so much, Quinn.
Thanks, everyone. Yeah, send us emails. That'd be great.
Thank you. All right, for the audience, you will see a poll on your screens. Please rate the presentation from 1 to 5. Also request for an individual introduction. Moving on to a last but not the least, presenter, Travis Jessup, founder of Empower Me. Travis.
Thank you. Thanks for bearing with me. My name is Travis Jessup. I am the founder and creator of the Empower app. The Empower app is a tool that enables individuals to improve their physical and mental health through continued use of affirmations and mantras. The problem has been there are many applications that enable you to create your own voice recordings. However, nothing exists that enables you to create a playlist with those recordings, or there's no way to essentially consume and use those recordings on demand. So our target market for the Empower app is healthcare providers, motivational speakers, anybody who is in the motivational space, positive mindset. The solution with the Empowered application, the Empower app enables you to create your own audio library of your own affirmations and mantras that you can then play on demand. And the beauty with the Empower app is you can play those affirmations and mantras with any other audio player app, for instance, iTunes, YouTube, Pandora, etc. So you can play your affirmations layered in with any other audio content being generated on your mobile device. Now, we also give you a way that you can control the volume level separately from your iTunes music or your YouTube, which encourages the user to welcome subliminal messaging. So even though the user may not hear their affirmations playing audibly, they're still consuming them in a subliminal format. And this is very helpful for somebody who maybe struggles with a negative environment in their workspace or even their home life. They can simply play their Empower affirmations in their own voice, and it really helps them stay laser focused on a positive mindset. I am Travis. I'm the founder of Diamond Mind Consulting, and I help people accomplish their personal, spiritual, and business goals through eliminating negative self-talk, negative thought patterns, and replacing those with positive thought patterns and language that is constructed in the user's own voice. Our revenue model is a premium model where our users can purchase a monthly package for $1.99 or a yearly package for $19.99. And what that gets the user is unlimited cloud storage for their own audio library, the ability to send, receive, and store any messages from any other Empower app users. Also the ability to schedule a message to be delivered in the future. As well, we provide our users with hundreds of different mantras that they can use during their recording process. There's really no competition on the market, but our closest competitor is an app called ThinkUp. So check out ThinkUp. It's a great app, but it fails in comparison to the Empower app. Our roadmap, a very conservative roadmap over the next year, we estimate 12,000 paid users at $1.99 a month, resulting in roughly 24,000 in gross revenue. Investment and funds, we're asking for a $250K investment, of which we'll use 40% for marketing, 35% for development and maintenance, and 25% for operating costs. If you'd like to know more about Empower, please feel free to get in touch with me, and thank you for your time and listening to my presentation.
Thank you so much, Travis. Okay, so we'll just give a minute at max for the audience to send in their questions. So, okay. So you mentioned about another app called ThinkUp. How are you different from ThinkUp?
ThinkUp, it does enable you to create your own affirmation recordings or record affirmations in your own voice. However, those audio files essentially get lost. They're very hard to find your own audio content and access it on demand, and as well as playing that audio content at the same time as other applications. It's a very complicated process.
Okay, does your audio library still it can be accessed when you're not connected to Wi-Fi?
Yes, we're actually designing an offline audio library. So very similar to, say, iTunes or your Google Music. You can actually download any audio content that you want on your device, and that will enable you to essentially use the Empower app anytime, anywhere, whether you're connected to Wi-Fi or not.
Okay, great. Thanks a lot, Travis, for those responses. For any upcoming questions, we would be sharing them via email with you for the responses. Thanks a lot for your presentation and your time.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
For the audience, you can see a poll on your screens. Please rate the presentation from 1 to 5, and also request for an individual introduction. After the poll, I would like to get your attention towards your screen as well. We have all our upcoming events on the screen, starting with most recently, most awaited event that is coming up on the October 28th, which is the Female Founders Demo Day, followed by a venture capital panel on November 5th, another industry agnostic demo day on November 10th, and throughout the November as well. We'd love for you to join us there. And for today, I would really like to thank all the investors in the audience, our presenters, to really have us joined today. We really had, we hope that you had as much fun as we did bringing it to you. Till then, please stay safe, and thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for joining us and being a part of this. Until next time, thanks a lot.